Oshkosh Media is government programming on GovTV, community programming on Life TV, and community radio on Oshkosh FM 101.9.
Welcome to the City Manager's Report, a look at city updates and a preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of the City Manager's Report. I'm Andy Radig, and in a moment we'll be joined by City Manager Mark Roloff. As usual, in the first half of today's show, we'll have some municipal news updates, including information from city departments and things happening in Oshkosh. In the second half, we'll highlight items from the upcoming Tuesday, June 13th Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda. And with that, we bring in our City Manager, Mark Roloff. Mark, thank you very much for being here today.
Great to be here, Andy.
Well, we have quite a bit of material for the show today, a lot to talk about, and we'd like to start off with a roundup of some construction projects that are happening around the city. There's quite a bit going on. And we'll start over on Wisconsin Street. And this has been a project that a lot of folks have been hoping for a long time, and it's underway.
Yeah, this is probably our number one project for the year, given the demand for this project over time. And it's making great progress. I would say a lot has to do with the fact that it's been very dry weather, but this is our most recent footage of it. This work includes sanitary sewer replacement, water mains, storm sewer, and then corresponding laterals to homes that'll be installed, replaced, or repair as needed. And this part, for those of you who aren't in the immediate area, this is Wisconsin Street from West New York Avenue to Stanley Avenue. So we're really excited about the fact that it's been going very well in terms of progress. And of course, this was very much needed for a very long time. And we're happy to get some of the utilities replaced there, because some of those date back over 100 years.
Right, and that's really part of it is it's not just the road, but it's the infrastructure underneath. So that's a major part of the work.
And this is a great example of that. So, but we've got a lot of more projects going on as well, don't we?
Right, over on Beach Street. We haven't talked about this one before. Not too far away from Wisconsin Street. There's a lot going on over on Beach Street with, again, some replacement of water main and other utilities.
Yeah, it's pretty much the water main that's getting replaced there. And of course, when you start digging up, you have to do some pavement replacement. So the water main and some miscellaneous utilities in this immediate area, right near Murdoch where it enters at Beach, but also reconstruction of segments of concrete and asphalt depending on what's there. You can see we're doing a turn lane here to get that all taken care of, but we're excited that this part of Murdoch and Beach is getting done, and I know the neighbors are going to appreciate it. It will provide much better reliability of water services out there.
Yeah, very good. And then also staying on the north side of town, we have over on Bowen Street, north of Murdoch, that stretch of road is being reconstructed as well.
This is all about a sanitary sewer project that is also including a new sewer interceptor. So what that sewer interceptor does is it eliminates the need for one of the lift stations that we have out there. And anytime you can rely on gravity rather than power for moving sewage, it's a much more reliable source because gravity never fails. But in addition to all that sanitary sewer work, we're also doing a lot of storm sewer work out there because we've had issues with flooding in that area. And then just reconstruction of the concrete streets because we're doing an awful lot of digging. But you can see as dry as the weather's been, we're making very good progress on these streets that we started early in the season because we just haven't had the disruptions that rainy weather can often bring.
Right. So I know that we also have some social media out there about how to navigate Bowen Street to reach things such as the animal shelter and other businesses over there. So if folks check out the new Facebook page for the Department of Public Works, there's some detail there, as well as on the city's Facebook page.
Yeah, we're making much better progress, as you could see from that video. So, to the degree that somebody wants to adopt a dog or cat or something like that, it is easy to access. It looks inconvenient, but it is relatively easy to get into establishments such as the animal shelter. So please don't avoid there just because you think it might be inconvenient. It's not as bad as you think.
It's a good note. Okay. And then also we have another project over at Bauman Street, and really it's a lot of the connecting streets around there that are under construction, and so a little bit of detail about that.
Yeah, well, it's the construction of the pavement definitely needs to get replaced there. It's concrete pavement as well as the sidewalk, and then some miscellaneous asphalt work. So it's not just Bauman Street, it's everything that feeds out from Bauman, including Arthur Avenue, Tyler Avenue, Coolidge, along with Bauman Street, but storm sewer, sanitary sewer, water main relay, as well as some electrical work as well. So it's going to be a very busy project. This is one of the projects more in the early stages, so it's going to be disruptive for a while, so we ask everybody's patience.
Exactly. And some good news, we have a couple projects that are now open. We have, it's over at Osborne Avenue and South Washburn Street are both open.
Yeah, they are. For South Washburn, a portion of the shoulder has been paved to allow for better use of non-motorized users of the street if you're on a bike or something like that. But both projects in this case were funded in part by the federal bipartisan infrastructure law, which was signed into law in November of 2021. So we're excited that we were able to be one of the first recipients of these federal funds, and we had projects ready to go, and that was really key for us. So we're real happy that this is done, and if you drive either of those streets like I do, you'll know that it is much more easier to drive than it's been in many, many years.
Excellent. That's good news. Okay. And we also would like to remind folks that if you would like to sign up for email construction updates for these road projects, you can find that link on the Hot Topics section of the city's website. Just click that link and there's a list of all the various construction updates, and you can get an email on the progress. And also there's a new construction updates and traffic restrictions webpage, and that is also available through the Hot Topics section of the city's website if you would like an overview of all that's going on around the city with construction. Okay, Mark, we also have, in addition to road construction, there's some other types of construction projects. One of those is the new Four Seasons shelter project, and that is over at Lakeshore Park.
It's amazing how the number of people are unaware of this project. It's a little off the beaten path. It's at the former golf course site, so a lot of people aren't used to going there if they weren't golfers, but look at this beautiful facility that we're getting built over there. And the idea is we don't have a park shelter that is able to be used year-round. So this will provide that capability. And the site is outstanding, right where the Fox River and Lake Butamore come together.
That's beautiful. It
really is gorgeous. It's near the trail that goes over by Oshkosh Corporation. And the exterior that you're looking at will soon have glass doors completely surrounding the site. So those glass doors will be up in the winter, so nice and toasty warm inside. And in the summer, we take the doors or open them up, and you'll be able to enjoy whatever the summer weather provides you. So this was a true four-season building, and it was intended for people to, perhaps a warming area if you want to go cross-country skiing over at Lakeshore Park. Or if you have a birthday in the winter and you say, oh, I don't get to enjoy the outdoors, the glass doors that are going to be there are going to enable you to really see the beauty of the outdoors in the winter. So we're excited about this, and what I would say is just hang on. We'll be letting you know when we'll be taking reservations. Probably won't be till later in the year or for the 2024 season.
Okay, and we'll keep folks updated on that as well when that process opens up for reservations there. We also have, speaking of parks, the Operations and Administration Building continues its progress.
If you're driving over by Witzel Avenue, you're going to see some great progress going on here as well. This is our Parks Department building. You know, the small part of the front is really the administrative part, but the operations, because this holds our forestry division, all the landscaping we do in all of our parks, cemetery operations, all of those things will now be housed in here to make it much more efficient. And you know, our public works facility, we found after we moved in there that our field operations personnel get out the door about 25 minutes earlier than they previously had. And that's 25 minutes every single day. This is going to make our parks operations much more efficient. And we've been adding some parks in recent years, so we do need that efficiency to keep pace with the amount of work that our parks folks have. So I'm excited about this. I think it's a great investment for the public, and by the end of the summer, I think we'll be moved in there and we'll be enjoying the new building and all the efficiencies that it provides us.
Well, the previous building was very inefficient, so it's nice to see how this is going to really improve things. That's great. Well, we also have some news from the Oshkosh Senior Center. They recently received a $10,000 grant, and they've really had success with the Connect Through Tech program.
They sure have since May of 2020. So we started this program right at the early part of COVID, but we had been planning to do this because we wanted to provide personalized technology training for adults 50 and over. So we were able to get connected with folks at AT&T and their foundation, and they took a look at our grant application and felt this is exactly what we're trying to do. And so they're going to be sponsoring our 2023 Fall Speaker Series to learn more about technology and make it less intimidating for our seniors. And so we're going to be doing extra classes this year hosted by experts of interest to older adults, hearing aid technology, smart homes, automotive technology, voice activation. Over 575 older adults have already participated in this program so far.
Great.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So we're so appreciative of AT&T's funding. We think we're going to attract at least another 125 new individuals from throughout the county for this program. So we're excited about it and appreciate AT&T for making these grant funds available.
Absolutely, that's wonderful. And there is some additional funding that has become available for the program as well, and we'll have more details to come on that in the second half of the show, so you can learn more about that in just a bit. Okay, we also wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that Oshkosh's water rate did increase on June 1st, just to build some awareness of the fact that some rates have changed. If you can just fill us in a little bit about how long it's been since we've seen a rate increase.
Sure. So right out of the gate, full disclosure, the rate increase is pretty substantial. It's 18%, but the last time we did an increase was in 2018. This rate increase isn't going to reflect your entire bill because there's no change to the sewer or the stormwater rates at this point. So a $77 bill will rise to about $82. Just some examples, because over this time, commodity costs have increased pretty dramatically. For example, chemicals for the treatment plant and other treatment costs, they've actually quadrupled in the last 15 months. So I would still say that even with this rate increase, we still have a very reasonable rate of about 1.2 cents for every gallon of city water that you use. So I think it's a good value, but obviously anytime we have an increase due to inflation, that's certainly hitting the pocketbooks of our residents. We don't take that lightly, and we're doing everything we can to make sure we have good quality water that's safe for you to drink, but also try to keep it as cost effective as possible. So we'll try to do more frequent increases so that it's not a big sticker shock type of thing.
Right. Just wanted to keep folks up to date about that. All right, and then we also wanted to point out that something else that would affect residents of the city of Oshkosh is that there is a new telephone area code that we'll be seeing in this area, and I believe that this is an overlay. So where the 920 currently exists, soon there will be a 274.
Right, it'll be overlaid exactly with the 920 area code. You remember when 920 area code got adopted about 26 or so years ago. They carved out the old 414, but this is it's going to overlay. We just have so many numbers with the proliferation of cell phones and things like that. So if you're going to get a new cell phone number, you're probably going to have a 274 on the front of it rather than 920. It serves the exact same geographic area, and when you request a new line, you'll see 274, and you'll, as with right now, because this change has already been made, you're now going to be needing to dial the area code either 920 or 274 when you need to make a call within either of those area codes.
Right, right. So another good thing to be aware of, if you see a 274 on your phone when you get a call, that is now a local number. Okay. We wanted to point out that there are a lot of activities going on this summer, of course, but our Oshkosh Public Museum and Parks Department have teamed up to offer some tours of Riverside Cemetery, and these are quite interesting historical tours.
Our cemetery tours have gotten so popular. It started out with just around Halloween and everything, but now the history aspect of it has really taken off. So one of our features is going to be Extraordinary Women of Oshkosh, and that's going to be offered on June 10th as well as June 24th. You'll get a guided tour of the Riverside Cemetery and discover the stories of extraordinary women of Oshkosh. You're going to see their remarkable contributions to our city, but also our state and at the national level. Plus, you'll see inside of the Riverside Cemetery Chapel, which is just an incredibly beautiful facility.
It
so,
is.
The tour lasts an hour. Advance tickets are necessary. For general public, the cost is $15. It's well worth it. You will learn so much about our local history and walk away very proud of that. So discounted rates are available if you're a museum member, so you may want to look into that as well. But OshkoshPublicMuseum.org is where you can get it, and you'll learn lots of information, and we're real proud of the collaboration with Museum and Parks on this.
I've heard good things about those tours, so I encourage folks to take advantage and sign up for one of those tours. Okay, one fun thing that we want to point out also, Mark, is that there's a new mural downtown that I think it's gorgeous. It's the Greetings Tour mural, and it's the first of its kind in Wisconsin, even though these types of things have been done around the country, but this is the first one in Wisconsin.
Yeah, they kind of look like the old school postcards that, just say a little bit about the community, but lots of graphic to really, excite the senses and give you a lot of community pride. So the one over near the Roxy restaurant is the one that we're really highlighting today. It's been painted on the south side of the Roxy Supper Club on Main Street, and that's the first official Greetings Tour postcard mural in the state of Wisconsin. So you can see all the EAA stuff, the lakes, the fishing, our lumber history, just so much about our history that we're so proud of. So I'm really excited about this. But meanwhile, you see all the landmarks that are here, but there's other murals that are also being done throughout the community. I encourage you to look around. There's one over by New Moon. I believe there's one over on the south side. So there's other murals that are getting done right now, and we're really pleased and proud of this. So encourage people to take a look around town and catch a little bit of local history. If you come into the farmers market this weekend, you can walk down the street and get a first-hand look at it.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I would like to encourage folks to take a look at that when they're out and about, for sure. Okay, well, that was quite a bit of material, Mark. I think it's about time to take a short break. Stay with us for some highlights from the upcoming Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda, and we'll be right back.
What I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
And welcome back to the City Manager's Report. I'm Andy Radig, along with City Manager Mark Roloff. Let's turn our attention to the agenda items from the upcoming Tuesday, June 13th, Oshkosh Common Council meeting. And Mark, there's quite a lengthy public hearing section on the agenda. This is probably one of the longer ones I've seen, I believe. It starts off with approval of, it's a non-renewal of a Class B license. And if you could tell us a little bit about how this licensing procedure works and and what the advantage might be of a non-renewal.
Well, for everybody who is familiar with Oshkosh restaurants and everything, this is about Red's Pizza that closed a couple years ago. And they've asked to keep their license open, and it hasn't been active. So one of the changes in philosophy that we've had is we want to make as many of these Class B licenses available as possible, so that if somebody has a business idea that involves a bar and needs a Class B license, we want to make sure that a license is available when you need it, not just, for lack of a better term, hoarding them. We had allowed that for a number of years, and we would have people come in looking for a license, and we have no licenses available, and people would say, yeah, but this restaurant's closed. What happened to that license? And our answer would be, well, they still have it. Really didn't make sense. So I think we've been successful in the last couple of years of explaining to people that if we take back all the unused license, the inactive ones, then they're available for everybody. And I get regular phone calls that people are inquiring about a bar or restaurant, and they ask if there are licenses available, and we're able to positively say, yes, we have something available. So they're going to be generally available to all, and really that's more equitable, and it just frankly makes more licenses available for anybody to use then.
So we currently have some licenses available then.
We actually do, and some people say, well, then you should let me keep mine. It's like, but if we follow that logic, then we'd have none left. So we have about 6 to 7 licenses available right now. This would get us to 7 or 8, and then somebody comes in, we can take care of them, including if somebody wanted to reopen Red's, for example. They would be able to do it because we would have a license available for them right now. But if it's an establishment somewhere else, we'll have it available for them at that time. So it's worked really well, and I believe council sees the value in that, and I think that it'll see, we're not going to renew this license, but it's meant for the betterment of everybody.
Okay, makes sense. All right, and then we have actually quite a bit of material here regarding the topic of special assessments. And if we could just backpedal a little bit, and if you could just explain what a special assessment actually is. What does that mean?
Sure. For all the street projects that we just talked about in the first half of the show, a portion of the cost for those projects are borne by the adjoining property owners. And so a special assessment is an estimate of benefit to that property that is assessed or charged to that property after they follow through a process. And typically those are payable back to the city in 5, 10, or 15-year increments. We give the property owner the opportunity to pick which one best fits their situation. But the idea is that part of the cost of the street is borne by the people who immediately benefit from it. And then the city picks up a portion as well, because there's also a citywide benefit, even for a small side street. You come visit me, or I come visit you, you're benefiting from that street regardless. So that's sort of special assessments in a nutshell.
Okay, and there's been a lot of discussion about special assessments in the last several years, and one of those things that was brought up was the possibility of a fee of some sort to pay for this. And where do we stand with that?
I think council is committed to eventually getting rid of special assessments, because in addition to the inconvenience that you see with street projects of that nature, the cost can sometimes be very difficult for people, especially when it's some of these special assessments, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for the larger size lots. The idea is to a fee would be to spread it out to everybody over time, rather than just a 5, 10, 15-year period. So that makes it a little more fair and spreads the cost across everybody, across the whole community. The problem with the fee is there have been some legal challenges, and I think that even if we were to succeed on a legal challenge, there's a possibility that the legislature may just take our ability to charge a fee away. So we've kind of ruled that out.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks for the updates on that, and I know there'll be more discussion to come. All right, in the consent agenda, we have an item that is dealing with what we call inflow and infiltration. And we're looking at doing some rehabilitation for manholes around the city, and trying to improve some of our water flow.
Inflow and infiltration is when clear water, rainwater, gets into our sanitary sewer system. So this is a sanitary sewer system. There's a separate stormwater system, but when you see these pipes, we're looking for holes and leaks that will actually have rainwater get into the pipe. So what you see right there is clear water that's going into our sewer pipe. And that goes to our treatment plant that doesn't need treatment. So what we try to do is identify the sources of where clear water is getting into our sanitary sewer system. And there are so many different sources in this graphic. This other graphic that we have kind of illustrates that. And there's so many different things where either a lateral from your house going out to the street, or some very old sewers are also hooked up to our storm sewer, or your downspouts are going out to the street into our sewer system. So we're trying to eliminate those. So you'll see that little sewer manhole that's there. If those sewer manholes are leaky, rainwater gets into our sewer, and then we're literally wasting money treating rainwater. So the idea is to get rid of that, what's called inflow and infiltration, and we're going to spend close to $900,000 this year to get rid of that. And that's an ongoing program that I've seen work over the course of my career, and I'm absolutely committed to making sure that we reduce I&I in our sanitary system.
Okay, very good. Then we also we referenced this a little bit earlier, over at the Oshkosh Senior Center. They are receiving another donation regarding the Connect Through Tech program.
This is from Bader Philanthropies that actually did the initial funding for the Connect Through Tech program. So Bader Philanthropies came and did a visit with their members of their group that approves these donations, and they have given us a $29,000 grant for this year, and they're actually going to give us another $29,000 grant in 2024. So we're super excited about their generosity. They're very impressed with what we're doing to reach seniors. The Bader grant really funds a lot of the equipment, and so it's enabling our residents to learn with different pieces of equipment, whether it's a tablet or their phone or their home computer. So we're excited about this.
Definitely. And we encourage folks to contact the Oshkosh Senior Center if they're interested in taking advantage of the Connect Through Tech program. Mark, we have several special events, one of which happens to be Miss Wisconsin. They have an arrival ceremony coming up.
They sure do, on June 19th. So it's a few special events that the council is going to be approving at the meeting. But the Miss Wisconsin Scholarship Organization has a little event where they kind of a mini parade and then a little event over at Opera House Square. We're excited to welcome them to the community, as we always had for I believe almost 60 years now, and we're looking forward to them coming back again.
Absolutely. Then we just wanted to mention we have a few workshops coming up with the council. One of those is talking about housing.
Our housing study was done last year, and now we're in a position that we need to start implementing some of the recommendations in that study. So we're going to evaluate some of those with council and get some feedback, and then eventually come back and get some input on what changes to our municipal code might be necessary, either our subdivisions or things like that. A lot of issues to make housing more affordable is one of the goals of this program.
Okay, and then there's also a capital improvement program budget workshop coming up.
That's our annual program when we talk about our capital improvement program, really about managing debt as well as capital expenditures. So that's going to be on June 28th at 5 p.m. And we're excited to be able to present our capital improvement budget to the council.
And both of those workshops will be televised on Oshkosh Media Gov TV. You can tune in and learn what is being discussed. Well, Mark, that was a lot. We crammed it all in. Thank you for being here.
It's always a pleasure, Andy.
All right, and thank you for joining us today as well. Again, that Oshkosh Common Council meeting is coming up at 6 p.m. this Tuesday, June 13th at City Hall, which is located at 215 Church Avenue. You can watch it live on Gov TV, Spectrum Channel 10, UVerse Channel 99, and streaming on YouTube and OshkoshMedia.org. Or you can listen on the radio, Oshkosh FM 101.9, which is also online and on the TuneIn Radio app for phones and tablets. Or you can always use your favorite streaming device, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV. Just search for the Oshkosh Media app. And you can always visit our YouTube channel for government meeting archives and the full library. Join us again in 2 weeks for another City Managers Report. Thanks for watching.